Poets and Pancakes by Asokamitran, Part 3. The poets in Jimy Studios did not have good opinion on the communists, like many others in South India. The evidence was soon forthcoming. Frank Buchmann's Moral Rearmament Army, consisting of 200 people, came to Madras in 1952. They were referred to as the International Circus, even though they were not very good with trapeze and animals. They were hosted by Jimy Studios, and two of their plays that were performed with full proficiency and professionalism got a lot of appreciation while they performed it again and again in different parts of Madras. The Tamil drama community were highly influenced by the play, and for some years almost all the Tamil plays had a scene of sunrise and sunset in the manner of Jotham Valley, with a bare stage, a white background curtain, and a tune played on the flute. The MRA was opposed to communism, and people like Mr. Vasan were suffering at their hands. However, these bosses and their businesses remained unaffected by such issues. Not only the audience, but also the staff of the Jimy Studios had a great time hosting 200 people from over 20 nationalities. After a few months, Jimy Studios got yet another chance to welcome a poet from England. People made guesses about who was going to visit this time because most people knew a few poets like Wordsworth or Tennyson, or the enthusiasts knew about Keats, Shelley, Byron, or even Eliot. They were curious as to who was the one visiting Jimy Studios. The person about to visit Jimy Studios was not a poet but an editor of a newspaper daily, and thus the boss was planning on giving him a huge welcome. Even Vasan was the editor of a famous Tamil weekly publication titled Anand Vikatan. The guest poet was Stephen Spender. He was tall and had a serious-looking British face. Boss welcomed him with a speech, and that speech was evident of the fact that he too only knew about him just as little as they did. When it was time for the poet or editor to enlighten the audience, unfortunately, no one could understand a word he was saying because of his British accent. He left an hour later, and the audience remained baffled throughout his visit. Asokamitran feels that prose writing cannot be performed by the intelligent because it is a task of those who are patient and can do the hard work. For such writers, the Hindu advertised a short story contest organized by the Encounter. As he didn't know anything about the Encounter, he went to the British Council library to find a copy of this periodical. He found the periodical lying untouched by the readers. The editor's name rung a bell in Asokamitran's heart. He mailed his entry for the contest, hoping that the editor would also feel the same when he receives his mail. Years later, when Asokamitran left the Jimy Studio, he had much time but no money, so anything at a discount attracted him. On the footpath of the Madras Mount Road Post Office, there was a pile of brand new books for 50 paise each. He was quite surprised by the cost. He came to know that they were copies of the American origin book, The God That Failed. They were low priced on account of the 50th anniversary of the Russian Revolution. When Asokamitran read the name of the authors, the book suddenly gained utmost importance. The mystery of the visit was solved. This book is a collection of essays by prominent authors who had initially embraced communism but later became disillusioned with it. Spender was one of the contributors to this book. The author appears to suggest that Mr. Vasan, the head of Jimy Studios, may not have been interested in Spender's poetry, but rather in his perspective on communism, as expressed in The God That Failed. End of the chapter Poets and Pancakes. Thanks for watching.